caught my ex cheating by catfishing her. This occurred over 7 years ago. I was 25 at the time, she was 23. We were together for close to 2 years. I was infatuated at first. Over time, we learned about each other's pasts. We both had compatible sex drives and found out the two of us had plenty of fun before we met. Now, after meeting, I discovered she cheated multiple times on her ex-boyfriend. I understood at the time and didn't think it would happen to me. Anyways, the longer we were together, the more red flags I found. I tried to keep her happy and even discussed opening our relationship up to include others in the bedroom, though I was cautious because I didn't think she had the maturity to handle it. She rejected my idea immediately yet complained I didn't have sex enough. Shortly after this, our relationship deteriorated to the point that I knew I needed to end it. But I had a sneaking suspicion she was cheating. Luckily, I found out she was using an app to talk to and meet guys. So I joined and started talking to her. I got her to admit to cheating multiple times and she agreed to meet up with me. Mind you, she had no idea I was her BF. Anyways, we met up and the face she gave me was priceless. I do believe, once a cheater, always a cheater. Story 2. Cheating girlfriend of almost 2 years. So this weekend I came to my girlfriend's college to visit her. The weekend was going good and overall I had faith in her not cheating on me until that point. Up to that point, we also have had our problem in our relationship, but we've been able to communicate and get past all these humps. That morning, we got into a little argument that we weren't able to resolve, but I planned on talking with her the morning after and resolving our conflict. I thought she was different, they always are. But on the last night, I went to sleep early and heard her talking with her roommates about me, so I stayed up and listened. They spent the whole night talking about me, and her roommates were trying to convince them to drop me. They kept exclaiming "drop me" loud and clear, over and over. And if that wasn't bad, I heard her other roommate mention to her how many hoes does she have. I didn't hear what she said, because she said it quietly, but I'm sure the answer was something I didn't want to hear. The night went on and they kept talking about me and our relationship. How this person would be a much better fit than me. And the icing on the cake to that night was the fact that she said she got drunk one night and hooked up with someone. That was the icing on the cake. That went on for 2 hours until I got up from my bed to put my AirPods away. Her roommate was also in the same room sleeping, and I'm not sure if she heard me get up, or the roommate alerted them, but they all got super quiet. To the point where one of them said shush. So my girlfriend came to bed soon after that last incident and I told her I was going to get a hotel for the night. Luckily I was leaving the next morning, so worked out for the best. It was a horrible night. I confronted her about it, and she kept trying to gaslight me and tell me that it was because I was hearing lies. I did smoke some weed earlier that night, but like not a super crazy amount. But she's so insistent that everything I heard was lies, or the weed is making me hear things. And I told her it's cause either I was crazy and need to get checked out, or I heard exactly what I heard and you just keep lying to me. She said that she just recommends that I stop smoking weed. I told her I just wanted her to admit it, but she wouldn't budge, she won't budge. She is sticking with her story and I can safely say after almost 2 years this relationship is ending. Even the next morning she has been trying to convince me, I keep poking holes in her story, and she won't budge. Getting the truth out of her seems impossible, but I just want the truth. I asked her again either I am crazy, or you're lying. She responded with the mind is a crazy thing, not calling me crazy directly but basically is. Keeps dodging the question, one of many questions I asked that she dodged. A part of me wants to believe her, but I know what I heard. I was listening for the whole 2 hours, every single thing they said. Very thin walls. I am going to really miss her, but it is what it is. She wasn't the one for me because if she was, we wouldn't be in this situation right now. And now afterwards, after a few hours have passed, all these red flags are becoming very obvious. We stopped having sex a lot less, her phone was constantly dying, she never defended me when her friends disrespected me / in front of my face, so I can't imagine what went on that wasn't in front of my face. And she's just always been sneaky. There was one time when we went to a hotel together and she left her phone at home to make it look like she was home, so her mom wouldn't find out. I talked about that moment with her afterwards, and she said that she would never do that to me. I feel like a fool for believing her now. She's also gotten caught sneaking out in high school. It's becoming much more obvious what type of person she is now, so I'm okay with how everything has ended up now. I feel like I should be much more upset, but I was more just angry and in shock hearing all the things she said. Now I just keep doubting myself, thinking did I make the right decision, or maybe I'm just actually crazy and just heard the whole 2-hour conversation in my head. I don't know anymore, I am just going to miss her. Story 3. Wife cheated through engagement and marriage with 9 guys. For context, we were on and off again since 25 and got engaged at 28. We were in an open relationship before we became engaged because we were young and wanted each other to experience life before marriage, but made a decision to become monogamous once we became a real relationship and get engaged. Well, I, male, did in fact engage to her with an 8K ring to her specifications because I loved her and thought this is the woman I want to spend the rest of my life with. She told me she was so happy that she is finally getting married to her love and how she deleted everyone from her past because I finally made the decision for us to become as one under God. That was in 2021. I recently found out that my wife in the current year of 2023 has cheated on me throughout our whole engagement and marriage, which we have only been married for 1 year now since 2022. So far, I've counted 9 different text threads of men she has slept with and constantly kept in touch with, but it could be more because she has taken a lot of trips. She even sent some men naughty pictures of herself, and she doesn't even send me anything which I ask for because I love sexy pictures of her. She travels on a lot of girl trips, which is where she has met some of these men. There's 2 men that she texts and FaceTime all the time to this current day. She has told them that she misses them and how she had amazing moments with them both, and she recently told one of them that she loves him and that they're going to figure out a way for them to be together, but she needs to find out what to do with me. I am truly heartbroken reading all of these messages about a woman who I genuinely loved and cared for and literally shifted my life and career to meet her needs so she could be a housewife one day like she always wanted. Intuition is real because I would always feel a vibe, but I would say, she wouldn't do me wrong because she gave me her word and would always confirm how now and that she only wants me. I recently scheduled couple therapy days before I was sent those messages because we'd had arguments beforehand about regular couple things and how I don't actually love her and I'm not passionate when I literally do everything in my will to please her. It's just really heartbreaking because she smiles in my face and calls out all of my wrongdoing throughout our relationship, but was doing everything under the sun with 9 or more different men behind my back. All family and friends around us say we are such a beautiful couple and that they look to us when they think of a genuinely loving couple, which I thought too, but it seems like it was all just lies now. I honestly don't know what to do at this moment because I still do love her, but my heart hurts from learning all of this information. I'm truly lost at this point. Story 4. I cheated and then got exposed. 2 years later my best friend and BF are hanging out behind my back. So I made the absolute worst choice/mistake, which has become my only and I hope last regret of my entire life, which was obviously cheating on my boyfriend of over 4 years now. I was exposed to him after I was filmed with my back turned, and no OFC, I did absolutely TF not give any other male, besides my current BF, permission to film me. Now to make a long story short, I went from being on my own and completely independent, well established, to I lost my job, car, home and countless belongings/items. Now I single-handedly supported my BF completely for almost 4 straight years. Anyway, I had suggested to my current BF at the time to find any other female we were not mutually friends with, and fuck her and even the score. He refused. I've offered to pay for counseling as well as many other things, but to stay on topic. After his refusal at my suggestion, I had suggested me and him and my best friend I've known since 6th grade that we all have a threesome. Fast forward 2 years later, I'm living in his grandma's house and I found out tonight after I asked them not to hang out behind my back while we were still involved or whatever, and especially not while I still live in his grandmother's house. All of this after her telling me the other day that she didn't want to be my friend no more and that it had nothing to do with my boyfriend. Oh okay, yeah, right. And the sad part is that until tonight she was the only female hands down that I would believe no matter what, without a doubt, and I cannot believe I caught her up in fucking lie. Even she tried to send me some bullshit on Facebook Messenger, and it was a lie because I got sent a video of her trying to jump my boyfriend's car at the local bar after they were just leaving her house together. I am just completely mind blown. I can't believe this is my life. I feel sick to my stomach. Story 5. Girlfriend cheated with my best friend. Me, 25M, moved to the US from the UK 7 years, dual nationality. I was dating a girl for almost 2 years. At first the relationship was great. But after she moved in, she quit her job, didn't do anything to help around the house, got a DUI, and pretty much leeched off me for months. Fast forward to May 2023, I was ready to kick her out at this point. She would constantly beg me not to and say how much she needed me. But the problem was my childhood best friend was coming to visit for 2 weeks, a trip we had planned a year prior. My girlfriend agreed we'd sort everything out after he went back home so I could enjoy time with friend I haven't seen in 5 years. Friend stays with us in the spare room at my house for 2 weeks. First week was good and all 3 of us had a good time. Unfortunately, I could only get 1 week off work, so the second week I worked while they stayed home. Red flags started appearing when they started going to the places while I was working. Places that me and my friend had planned going to, like a sporting event and traveling, etc. He would choose to do stuff with her over me all of a sudden, and they were acting super suspicious constantly. Evidence came undeniable when I saw my girlfriend's lingerie on the floor when I came home early when I found it. They weren't home and I called him on the phone and asked him, "Do you want to tell me what's on with you? Because I'm not stupid." He instantly replies, "Have you been spying on us?" That was all I needed. Girlfriend messages me saying, "We're staying at my mom's for the night. We'll be back tomorrow for my stuff." You may call me petty for this, but if you could experience my emotions at that point you would do the same. I spend the next 6 hours throwing out every single one of her possessions. She never cleaned her cat's litter boxes, so I shoved them in her trunk of her car at the bottom and then shoved all her clothes and items on top until her car was filled to the top. Any door you open would result in an avalanche of dirty clothes, boxes of random stuff, and cat poop. When the car was filled, the rest was thrown on the ground in a pile and got rain on. I text her one last time to tell her to grab her stuff ASAP. Do not come in the house as it will be locked. Luckily she didn't have a key at this point. I blocked them both on pretty much everything. I left a note on her car simply saying, "Do not contact me ever again." I cancelled her phone line and reported her phone lost and stolen so that phone or number could never be used again. I was paying for both, of course. I didn't see the reaction when they pulled up to her car the next day, and I really wish I did. I was so exhausted from the night before I slept all day. When I woke up, everything on the ground was gone, but her car with all her stuff was still there. 2 weeks pass and the car is there. I would laugh any time I look at it, thinking about when the car door first opens and the smelly avalanche that follows. Unfortunately, I never witnessed her pick up the car. I got home from work one day and it was gone. If you're wondering how I got my revenge for the dude, he was living with his girlfriend and their kid back in the UK. I knew that he would spend every waking moment full of anxiety waiting for me to tell his girlfriend everything that happened. Some time passed, haven't talked to either of them since and still had them blocked. All of a sudden I'm getting messages from his friends from the UK asking me if I'm okay. Turns out this dude was bragging to all his friends about how he was fucking his best friend's girl behind his back. They all asked me for the real story since this dude couldn't get his story straight. I told them what happened. That information reached his girlfriend and he ended up getting kicked out. No one has heard from him since. As for my ex, well, I heard she moved in with her mom in some tiny room on an air mattress with her 3 cats that shit literally everywhere. No job, no money, and a few days before I kicked her out she had to go to court and was handed 6 months probation for her DUI. As for me, most of my problems disappeared since most of them were in some way created by my ex. I did get therapy to help cope with the betrayal. It's been 6 months now. I finally started my own business and I can finally say I found true happiness. It really is a beautiful thing to watch karma kick in for bad people.